And today's video is about Spreadex.com, the spread betting website.
I don't feel like a lot of people know about them, to be honest, and it's got a lot of untapped potential, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You get paid more the better that you come. Hi, so today I'm joined with Joe Norris from Getyourtipsout, and today's video is about Spreadex.com, so the spread betting website. So a bit of a review about it and why you might like using Spreadex to wager some of your football or horse racing bets, Joe.
Yeah, so I feel Spreadex is sort of one of them companies. I don't feel like a lot of people know about them, to be honest, and it's got a lot of untapped potential, I think. For me personally, looking at the racing aspect, I love using it when I'm sort of taking on a favourite. I think is the best way I like to use it because you could back the second favourite on there. It could be like around a 9-2 chance, and if it wins, obviously you cash in. If it comes second, though, you can make good money. A few times I've done it, and you can sort of win up to 3 times your stake. Obviously, if it comes third, you get your money back. So for me, it's actually better backing it on Spreadex than it is backing it each way with a normal sportsbook because there's potential to win more. Obviously, it depends how confident you are on the bet. But yeah, that's one way I like to use it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the other ways where I like betting on the Spreadex is when if there's a horse that steps up in trip or it's running on inadequate ground and it's favourite, and I'm like, I don't think this is going to win today. When I don't think a horse is going to stay the distance or not like the ground, at times I'm thinking I don't even think it's going to come top 3. So at that point, you can then lay that horse. And if it doesn't come in the top 3, obviously you're winning quite a bit. Obviously, if it wins, that's the risk involved in you laying certain bets on the spread. Yeah. But there's times where if you're pretty certain it's stepped up in trip or it's down in trip or it's on inadequate ground, there's times you can also lay it as well. Also, one other thing that I do like is if I think that if I fancy backing a favourite. And I'm 99% certain that you can never be 99% certain on anything, to be fair. But you're thinking that it's definitely going to be coming in the top 2. At times, I prefer backing it on the spread because I might still be getting, let's say it's a 4-6 shot. I might still be getting if it wins around 4-6. Yeah. But if it comes second, I'm almost getting my stake back at times. So for that reason, I'm like, well, all right, if it come third, I'd lose money. And if it didn't come in, I'd lose quite a bit more. But if it comes second, because it's almost like an insurance bet, so to speak, that I'm almost getting my money back. So I quite like sometimes if I'm backing a short price favourite and I think he's certain to get top 2, because he's one other that I quite like, sometimes I like doing it on that. But do you ever do it for anything like any football bets on the spread betting?
Yeah, I do use it occasionally for the football. I mean, I like to do it involving the bookings. I think there's good value to be had there. What we should say as well is it's not marked as lay on there. It's known as sell, obviously.
Yeah.
Like for beginners.
Yeah.
But you're right. It doesn't. If you're selling it, you are laying it because you're going against it, basically.
Yeah. So it's buy is backing it. Sell is laying it on spread betting.
Yeah. No, but it's definitely worth having a look at if you haven't looked at before. I think in some ways it adds a bit more excitement to the bet as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, instead of doing the over 2.5 goals, I prefer backing total goals in the game. Yeah. And it means that, okay, if you get 2 goals, you might almost get your money back. 3 goals, you're showing a little bit of profit, but not a lot. But then the more goals in the game, every time someone's scoring, it's the 70th minute, there's another goal and another goal. Like, your bet's earning more and more and more each time, the more kind of it's doing. Same with, like you said, on the bookings as well.
Yeah. You're basically, you're talking about the goals, you're getting rewarded for having a strong opinion. If you think over 2.5 goals, you think it's going to be a lively game.
Yeah.
And for me, when you bet over 2.5 goals, if there ends up being like 5 or 6 goals, you always kick yourself, don't you? You think, I should have done 3.5.
Yeah.
I'd staggered my stakes up to 4.5 or whatever. Whereas with this, it gives you the opportunity to win bigger like that.
Yeah, for sure. Also, there's like goals or shirts times bookings where there's times where me and my brother will be looking at certain lineups, and let's say sometimes like Inter Milan, the striker might have number 99 on his back, or let's say in the Carling Cup, and there's certain players that have been drafted in, and it's not Haaland playing up front for Man City, who's number 9. They've got like another striker that's come in, and he might not be number 57 or whatever. Or Foden's playing up front at number 47. There's times like that when you get the team news come out, and you can back shirt numbers. So it's what shirt numbers on your back score. So if he's valued up at, let's say, 40 points in the whole game because they think Haaland might score a hat-trick and it's going to be 3 or 4-0 or whatever, then if he's not playing and there's number 50 starting up front, well, you only need 1 goal in the game and you're up. And then every time he scores a second or third, you're like, wow, I've trebled, I've quadrupled and stuff like that. So
I think when your brother's bet, I think, was it Trent for Liverpool? Because I think he's 66.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Something like that when he won big on it.
Yeah, for sure. There's been plenty of like Man City, like you said, some of their players, or Inter Milan's another one where they've got big shirt numbers and stuff. So you've got to be savvy, because don't get me wrong, with regards to spread betting and betting on Spreadex.com, you can, if you get it wrong, you can get it wrong badly. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to make certain that you're only punting what obviously you can afford to lose.
Yeah, we should definitely reiterate that, I think, because it's risk versus reward, isn't it? Like, that is what betting is. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, but on this, you can end up doing like especially if you're selling and you do it to like a £1 stake, and you're selling that something's not going to happen, and it does end up being a 5-4 game, you can lose thousands if you're selling against it. But you can obviously, if you're backing, you can win thousands. Yeah. So it's that risk and reward kind of element of what you've got to do. For me, it's on performance of players and stuff in a game. Every pass you're getting rewarded. It sounds daft sometimes in the club. You go there and you're watching a game and you screaming you've got a corner or a pass or an assist and stuff like that.
Many times.
So it's crazy. People looking over going, mate, you just did an assist, like what you, and you're like, oh yeah, and you're buzzing. But like you said, it is risk versus reward. I do like it for horses, like you said. If I do as well, I know you do a lot where you're taking on the favourite and you fancy the second favourite, at least to grab second place. But if it does win, then great. But you're getting rewarded more for second place than you would third on the spread. So it might be like 50 points for the winner, 25 points or 30 points for second, and then 10 points for third. If there's plenty of runners, it might be like 50, 30, 20, 10. But if you're thinking, yeah, I'm pretty certain that my horse is going to come top 2, spread's better than an each way bet, because you're going to get more bang for your buck for the second place than you would for third, where obviously an each way bet, whether you get second, third or fourth, it's the same. Where on spread, it's not. You get paid more the better that you come.
Yeah, that's it. I think, it comes down to the angle you've got and how bullish you are, really. And
for sure.
For me, that's why I love. My angle is normally when I'm going against the favourite, and then I'm really keen on the second favourite. I think it's better to use spread than it is to have an each way bet on it sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. So anyone who's watching this, let us know in the comment section what's your thoughts of Spreadex.com. Let us know whether you've actually ever tried spread betting before or not. We both love it for different reasons with regards to the horse racing or for the football bets. You do need to gamble responsibly, obviously, with any sort of gambling or betting online. But yeah, Spreadex.com is certainly a bookie that me and Joe both like wagering bets with.